Let me be straight with you. This is a radio commercial for 3 Small Business Insurance. The policy has no fine print. It's clear what's covered. So while you can't see the following scene, just know that this pet store is protected by 3.
Joe, did you leave the snake tank open?
Look, I don't want to point fingers, but yes.
It's biting me! Sorry, sir! I'm calling my lawyer.
They're going to need some help with this mess. Luckily, they have 3. No fine print, just exceptional coverage. 3 is a product of Berkshire Hathaway Direct Insurance Company. 3. No nonsense, just common sense.
The only thing better than pizza is a great deal on pizza. And with Marco's, you get double the pizza and something for everyone. A large one-topping pizza with that perfectly golden crust and a saucy, cheesy pizza bowl without the crust. Plus, you get pizza's tasty sidekick, fresh baked cheesy bread, all for just $21.99. Seriously, what could be better than that? To see more deals and order, visit Marcos.com. Marcos. Pizza lovers get it.
Hey folks, if you're nervous about finding a new home in this market, don't be. At least not with RPM Home Advisors on your side. Their winning strategies have worked for hundreds of buyers in this current market. RPM Group Home Advisors, powered by Keller Williams Realty, is your solution to buying the home of your dreams. RPM Home Advisors is familiar with the unexpected. They've helped clients navigate it all and win with their 100-plus years of experience. Your home buying goals become your wins with their expertise and knowledge at your side. RPM Group Home Advisors, they know real estate, they really know Atlanta, and I promise you they will exceed their clients' expectations. RPM Group Home Advisors, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Give them a call today at 404-541-3555. That's 404-541-3555. Or visit them online at www.rpmhomeadvisors.com. That's www.rpmhomeadvisors.com.
Well, happy Monday to you, Braves fans. As always, I'm your buddy Kevin McAlpin, truest reporter for the home of the Braves, the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM right here in Atlanta. And, of course, the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Hope you are having a great start to your work week. It is Monday, August 16th, 2021. And you know what? I know a lot of folks out there, they probably wake up on Monday mornings. You're dreading it. You don't want to go to the office. You want to sit around and you want to hang out. But I got to tell you this much. I woke up this morning. I don't know about you folks. The sun was shining a little bit brighter. The birds were chirping. The coffee tasted a little bit better because the Atlanta Braves wake up here this morning with 40-some-odd games left in the regular season, atop the NL East standings, and they're doing it all by themselves here in the middle of August. The Braves coming off a 3-game weekend sweep in Washington, D.C., and if you missed any of the action from our nation's capital, we'll get you up to speed on some of the big storylines from the weekend. We will also bring you inside the Braves clubhouse, and we'll let you hear from Brian Snitker, get his thoughts on a big 3-game sweep for the Braves, also getting some help in the standings as well. We'll also check in with Austin Riley following yesterday's game, and we will also hear from Ozzie Albies from earlier in the weekend as well. Ozzie, Dansby, Riley, Freeman, every all of the above having big weekends for the Braves in Washington, D.C., part of a 3-game weekend series sweep. 6-5 was your final in yesterday's finale in an outing that saw Drew Smyly go just 4 innings. It was a short outing once again for the 32-year-old lefty, but the good news was he got some early run support. An RBI ground out from Stephen Vogt in the second. 2-run homer from Dansby Swanson, his 4th of the series. And for Dansby, his 24th home run of the year. Braves tacked on 3 more in the 5th. Back-to-back homers from Freddie Freeman and Austin Riley. Their 25th of the season. Each of them on pace for about 35 on the season. And if you want to play the on-pace for game, the Braves have a legit shot of having all 4 infielders with 30 home runs on the season. Now, of course, when you think back to how often that's happened, well, it doesn't happen very often at all. Matter of fact, the last time the Braves had 4 players on their roster hit 30 or more homers was 1998, and that was Andres Galarraga, Javi Lopez, Andrew Jones, and Chipper Jones. So it has never happened in 150 seasons of Braves baseball that they have had an entire infield hit 30 or more home runs. Matter of fact, it's hardly happened ever in Major League Baseball. I think back to when we were in Los Angeles taking on the Dodgers. There was a bobblehead they gave away of the 30 home run club, and that's when they had 4 players. That was Ron Cey, Dusty Baker, Reggie Smith, and Steve Garvey back in 1977. But again, when you think about how rare this is in Major League Baseball, especially when you get that kind of power from your middle infield, right? You expect third baseman, you expect first baseman to have that kind of power. You don't necessarily always expect it from your shortstop and second baseman, and that's exactly what the Braves are getting here this season. So a good weekend all around. Of course, the Braves won a laugher on Saturday night. 12-2 was your final in that one, in a game that saw 4 more home runs hit. Ozzie Albies, Dansby Swanson twice, and Adam Duvall as well. Overall, the Braves hit 11 home runs over the 3-game weekend series in Washington, D.C. They were putting up some terrific offensive numbers, and hopefully that can continue here as they head to South Florida for 3 against the Miami Marlins. Braves enter having won 10 of their last 12 games. They've scored 72 runs over their last 12 contests. And look, I'm not good at math. It's a big reason why I'm doing radio. But even I can tell you, that's 6 runs per game over their last 12 contests. And in those 12 games, folks, the Braves have hit 24 home runs, including 11 in Washington, D.C. Speaking of D.C., Braves have had a lot of success in our nation's capital. They went 8-1 against the Nationals in D.C. this season. That's the most single-season wins for the Braves in Washington since the team came back to D.C., and that was way back in 2005. Overall, the Braves have performed well on the road. They have won 7 in a row away from Truist Park, and that's one of those numbers where you look at it and say, what are one of the reasons why the Braves or any team gets to be where they are at the end of a season? 31-27 now on the road are the Braves, to go along with 2 games over 500 at home. So again, good stuff over the weekend for the Braves in Washington, D.C. And I just got to tell you this much. I want to caution everybody. It's not going to be as easy in Miami. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, the Marlins are a 4th-place team. Yeah, I said 4th place. Nationals slipped to 5th after yesterday's ballgame. Miami coming off a 3-game sweep at the expense at the expense of the visiting Chicago Cubs. And that was a series where, I mean, look, we know the Cubs have really struggled here since the trading deadline. I mean, they moved just about everybody and anybody not named Jason Hayward out of Chicago. So, look, I don't put a lot of stock into the Marlins beating up on the Cubs. But one thing this Marlins team can do, they can pitch. And you're going to see Jesus Luzardo in the series finale on Wednesday night. They've got some really good arms they can run at you out of the bullpen as well. So while it's a team that's not going to score a ton of runs, or at least I don't expect this Marlins team to score a ton of runs over this 3-game series in Miami, this is not going to be as easy of a series on paper as I think a lot of folks expect it to be. Now, the Braves are facing a lefty here tonight in Game 1. It's Braxton Garrett. He's 1-1 with a 4.65 ERA. And the Braves have had a lot of success against lefties here of late. They've seen a lot of them, and they've swung the bats well against lefties. Most notably, Ozzie Albies, Jorge Soler, Austin Riley, and Dansby Swanson. Adam Duvall always likes to feast on lefties as well. So, again, you'd hope that that can be something that they can look at this series and go, you know what, let's set the tone early on tonight. Touki Toussaint's on the mound for the Braves in Game 1. Touki is 1-2 with a 4.28 on the season. Just looking for more consistency and looking to get deeper into ball games, I think, is the goal when it comes to Touki Toussaint. You look at his last outing. Well, he had an outing where he went 5 1/3 against the Cardinals, gave up 3 runs in that one. And then his last go-round went 5+, gave up just 2 runs on 4 hits with 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. So again, for me, the big thing for Touki is throwing strikes and getting ahead in the count and not having that pitch count get up into the 40s and 50s in the second inning. That's what happened last time, and it's a big reason why he only lasted 5 innings. So, again, for Touki, it's always been about, can he throw enough strikes and can he repeat his mechanics enough? And we'll see if he's able to do that here tonight in Game 1 against the Miami Marlins. And again, this is the middle series in a 9-game in 10-day trip for the Braves. So far, so good. They got off to a 3-0 start in D.C., 3 in Miami. Teams off on Thursday, and then they're back up to the Mid-Atlantic region as they'll take on the Baltimore Orioles next weekend. And Baltimore, I saw this tweet from Buster Olney. Baltimore, you want to talk about some teams that have really fallen on some hard times. The Baltimore Orioles have really just, look, they went from being a team that I think could at least be, a pesky one you don't want to play, one that could be out for playing the role of a spoiler. Entering action tonight, the Orioles are 1-12 in the month of August. They've scored 43 runs and they've given up 111. The Baltimore Orioles run differential on the season is minus 201. Now, I don't know how much stock you put into run differential or what metrics you use to measure a team, but minus 201 on the season for the Baltimore Orioles. The second worst team is minus 173, and that's the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are 38-81. Then you look at a team, Pittsburgh Pirates are minus 180. They are 42-76. As far as the NL East shapes up, that's the only division you really, really care about. Braves are 62-56. They have a 1-game lead over the second place Phillies. It's a 2.5-game lead over the Mets, who lost again to the Dodgers last night. And then it's a big drop down to the bottom two. Marlins are 11 games back, and the Nationals 12 games out of first place, as Washington has lost 7 in a row. Braves have won 3 in a row. Fish have won 4 in a row, so something has to give here tonight. And hopefully you'll join us for all of the action on the Braves Radio Network. We'll kick things off with the Ford Leadoff Show at 5:55 p.m. Eastern. That'll be Chris Domino and I walking you right up to first pitch. We'll turn it over to Ben and Joe live from Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. Game 1 of a 3-game series against the Fish. Well, we'll step aside for a quick break. When we return, we're going to take you inside the Braves clubhouse. We're going to hear from Ozzie Albies from earlier in the weekend. We will also check in with Brian Snitker following yesterday's contest. We'll also hear from Austin Riley. We'll take a peek at this date in baseball history. All of that to come, as we are glad to have you with us on a Monday edition of the Frozen Rope Report.
Follow the Podcast Park on social media for live updates as new episodes hit and behind-the-scenes looks at all our shows. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the Podcast Park.
Let me be straight with you. This is a radio commercial for 3 Small Business Insurance. The policy has no fine print. It's clear what's covered. So while you can't see the following scene, just know that this pet store is protected by 3.
Joe, did you leave the snake tank open?
Look, I don't want to point fingers, but yes.
It's biting me! Sorry, sir! I'm calling my lawyer.
They're going to need some help with this mess. Luckily, they have 3. No fine print, just exceptional coverage. 3 is a product of Berkshire Hathaway Direct Insurance Company. 3. No nonsense, just common sense.
We continue with you here on a Monday. Hope you're getting off to a good start to the new week. I know there's some kids that went back to school a few weeks ago. Some more are going back starting today. So if your kids are headed back to school, hope they have a great school year here in 2021. And again, hopefully the next 6 weeks are a fun one if you're a fan of the Braves. And obviously, you're a fan of the Braves if you're tuned into this podcast, and we appreciate you doing so. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell anybody you want about the Frozen Rope Report. You can also tell them about Domino and I as we do pregame daily each and every morning. It's up about 9:30, depending on my children's schedules on that respective day. But we do a look back at the night before. We get you ready for the following day's game. And, of course, we talk all things Braves and Major League Baseball in that as well. So you can get that podcast where you're getting this one. And make sure you like, subscribe. Again, tell your friends, tell anybody that's a Brave fan. We got a feeling it's going to be a fun ride here through the final 40-some games of the regular season. All right, let's take you inside the Braves clubhouse from over the weekend in D.C. Let's first hear from the manager. Here's Brian Snitker following a really successful 3-game series for his ball club in D.C.
What do you think when Dansby continues to hit like this? What have you said to him, just kind of even playfully, like, you know?
I don't say anything to him. I don't want to screw it up, be that guy. I'm going to tell you what, man, it's something the way that ball's carrying when he hits it. The bats he has are so good, so good.
What about the series that you got from your middle of the order hitter, Snit?
No, it's great. I mean, it's really good. I mean, that's something we're going to need. All that we're going to need, and this lineup I think is deep now, and we're getting contributions from a lot of guys, which is a really good thing. And hopefully, we can go on for another 2.5 months or whatever and do that.
Snit, how nice is it to be able to throw Rodriguez, Mazza, and Jackson back to back to back?
No, it's pretty good. And like I say, Rodriguez, even, it's just kind of the matchup innings with those guys, and they're ready to go. And they've all been throwing really good. So that's we got Chris Martin down there, and Santana's been throwing good. And but that's nice to have that piece. I'll tell you that.
Snit was striking out Soto in the 9th and closing things out. What do you think this does for the confidence of Will?
It should do a lot. That's a big at bat right there. And, that's, his last 2 saves last 2 outings been saves, and I think he's thrown the ball well. And that was a huge strikeout of Soto. You don't get that, that you don't see that very often.
metrics aren't always kind to Austin Riley as defense, but when he makes a play like that, is it kind of a reminder how good this guy has become over there?
There's no doubt he's good in my mind. I don't pay attention to defensive metrics. I judge defense by my eyes, not by numbers. I don't buy that. I buy what I see on the field. And this kid is I don't ever feel bad, like I'm cringing when a ball's hit to him. I don't buy all that metric stuff in defense.
Hey, Brian, what's been your the enjoyment level that you've had just watching the light come on for Riley?
It's been really, it's good. I'm happy for him, knowing every day, watching this kid work and how consistent he is. And he comes to play every day. And to see how, like I said, it's just the work ethic, the level he's even keel, he's hung with himself as much as anything. And that's the big key, is these guys got to hang with themselves and believe in themselves, and he has. And to see where I'm really happy for him. He's such a wonderful kid. And it just, I'm really happy for him that everything he's put into this thing, and he's seeing some benefits.
Well, your infield as a whole. I mean, can you look around baseball and find a better infield?
No. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. That's as good an infield defensively and offensively as you'll see on any one team in the majors, in my opinion.
Well, I would ask one more question about Austin then, about what is the work that went into that, making that last out? What's been the work that he's put in on his defensive?
But you know what? Like I said, he's consistently, they do their drills. He's always one of those guys that even if we don't hit, he's out there doing the defensive work and taking his ground balls, and they do, their defensive drills with Wash every day. We may not get on the field, but those guys, they prepare with those hand-eye coordination drills that they do every day. And I think now Wash has got all those guys where they don't feel right if they don't do those. Doesn't take a lot of energy out of them. It's good, but it's just great hand-eye coordination type stuff. And like I say, it's all part of their daily prep, and it doesn't beat them up to do all that.
Well, it was a very successful weekend because the offense really broke out in a big-time way. 11 home runs over the 3-game sweep of the Marlins. The Braves scored, 12-4. That is 16, and 6 is 22 runs over the 3 games in our nation's capital. In a ballpark that's not exactly a hitter-friendly yard. Play is pretty fair, but of course, the middle infield having a big part of that. And let's first hear from Ozzie Albies following Saturday night's game, get his thoughts on a recent power surge for not only him, but this entire ball club as well.
Ozzie, what can you say about what you've seen? I mean, we knew what Max can do on the mound, but what he continues to do at the plate.
Awesome for him. He can hit. He's a guy that, he works on his hitting. He don't take anything for granted. He works with it with the intent he wants behind it. That's why he's a good hitter.
As he's continued to hit, Snit has said, he could play center field on a regular basis. And, we've seen you go through this. What do you think you could do on the mound?
Go out there and throw some fastballs. That's all I can do. Try to get the guys out.
How impressive is that for a pitcher to be able to, and look, he can't do what you can do with the bat, but at the same time, just to have that kind of success, how impressive is that?
That's impressive. He can, like today, he set the tone for a 2-run inning, and that was great for us. Any runs we can get, it's better for us to win a ball game. So he was the first guy that from our team got the base hit to start things going for us tonight. So it's pretty impressive.
Ozzie, how much fun is this with you and Dansby? You guys have got your own kind of a little private home run race going here between the middle infielders.
No, we just go out there, take care of business, go play baseball. That's what we're doing.
How much fun is it for you guys? You came up together and now you're doing what you're doing on both sides of the ball. Both of you seem to be clicking at the right time and all that. How much fun are you having?
A lot of fun, especially right now we're winning, and that's great for the team, and that's all we want.
Did you happen to see Max go score? Wait a second. No, that was on your triple. Never mind. For first to at home, for him to run, his speed was 29.3. Elite's 30. What do you think about that?
That's telling you how athletic he is. And when I got to the dugout, he was like, as soon as that ball bounced, all I said, I want this RBI to be for Ozzie. So he said, he put his head down and just go. That's what he said.
Ozzy, are you at all surprised to see Dansby doing what he's doing now, hitting for the power that he has? I mean, he's another guy that doesn't really look like a power hitter. Neither you do, but he's kind of a slender guy, and to be doing what he's doing.
Yeah, it's great for him. He works hard on his swing. Him and Bobby, the whole time you see them working. Every time I go to the cage, they talking the swing, learning his swing every day. So it's awesome that it's working for him. I'm proud of him.
When you guys were playing together in the middle infield and a couple of different minor league teams, could you have envisioned this, the two of you, hitting 50, 60 home runs between you?
No, I didn't have that vision, but I know we can play great defense and hit great for the team. But I didn't see us going off like right now.
From the right side of the infield to the other side, let's go over to the hot corner and hear from Austin Riley following yesterday's series finale in Washington, D.C. Of course, Austin, his 25th home run of the season. He was 3 for 5 in yesterday's win. Singled in the first, singled and scored a run in the third, a solo homer in the fifth as the Braves went back-to-back. 403 feet to left field, too, by the way. Not a cheapie off the bat of Austin Riley. And here is the 24-year-old third baseman following yesterday's win.
How big is the baseball looking for you and Dansby right now?
For Dansby, I think it's looking mighty big right now. I'm seeing it good. Like I said, I just got to get back to honing in on my approach, make sure I swing at strikes, and I'm able to put myself in good position. But yeah, Dansby is on, and shoot, Ozzy, they're on another planet right now.
Austin, what's it been like watching two middle infielders like that hit for that kind of power?
It's impressive. And what they're doing, at the plate and then what they're doing in the infield is just that two combo right there. You can't beat it. It's fun to watch.
Also fun to watch your play to end the game. Come at you pretty quick.
Yeah. We're playing no doubles down the line. Good positioning, made a good play, got Will out of the jam right there. And that was a huge win.
Austin, what do you think when you look up and I don't know if it's a bad time to think about it, but you look up and down that lineup and think about how many guys have either hit 25 homers or will hit 25 homers within this lineup?
Yeah, like I said, at any point in time, someone can leave the yard 1 through 9. I mean, really, and it's impressive. It just shows the depth that no matter what the situation is of the game, we're still in it. We're not out of it. It's been a fun little run right now.
Austin, to what do you credit this season to, and the way and your approach at the plate, and how much you've improved that?
It's a number of things. I've had a lot of help from everywhere. In-house of Bobby Max, Chipper, numerous of guys, at the plate. Mike Brumley has been huge. I work with him all off season. He's got me locked in. He can text me randomly and say, hey, focus on this. And the next day I'm able to lock in. It just seems to lock me in. He's just one of those guys that knows my swing. I can't thank him enough. And really working with Wash on the defensive side, it's been fun. He's the best out there, no doubt. It's been a long process. Still a lot to learn, still a lot to improve. But it's nice to be able to help a ball club.
Did you feel the need you had to one up Freddie after he hit his home run? You had to go deeper?
No. I mean, I just, like I said, kind of knew they were kind of spinning me quite a bit there, and I was able to get one over the plate.
You guys showing the league what this team can do when everybody's hitting in the middle of the relief's doing what they're doing. Will's closing out games, just how dangerous you guys can be. 10 wins in your last 12 games?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when we're clicking on all cylinders, it seems like, this is kind of what we've been searching for, all season. And honestly, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I know it's kind of a little cliche, but it's the truth. If we can get hot and get rolling, get everybody clicking, we put ourselves in a good spot.
So we appreciate Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, and of course Brian Snitker, who you hear from quite a bit here over the course of the season, and you'll hear from him a whole lot more as we go down the stretch. All right, before we go, time to take a look at this date in baseball history. And of course today, a sad day in Major League Baseball as you go back to August 16th of 1948. At the age of just 53, Babe Ruth succumbs to throat cancer at Memorial Hospital in New York City. Just 3 weeks prior, he had made his final public appearance at the premiere of the Babe Ruth story. And if you've never read Babe Ruth's obituary from the New York Times, it's on Twitter. Go check it out. Very, very interesting stuff there. So again, very sad day in Major League Baseball history. On this date, 1948, we lost the great Sultan of SWAT, Babe Ruth. All right, a couple of more for you. It was on this date in 1954. The very first issue of Sports Illustrated is available on newsstands. Now, the inaugural cover of the brand new magazine features a Mark Kaufman photo of Braves slugger Eddie Matthews at the plate. It also featured Giants catcher Wes Westrom behind the plate and umpire Augie Donatelli calling balls and strikes in Milwaukee's County Stadium. So if you ever want to win a bar bet from one of your friends, ask them who was featured on the very first episode, or very first edition, I guess I should say, of Sports Illustrated. Braves' own Eddie Matthews on the cover there. It's an iconic cover, to say the least. It's one that's hanging up in the press box here at Truist Park. Always cool to go in and see that one hanging up, as they have all of the covers of Sports Illustrated every time the Braves have been featured on that. So it's a pretty cool thing. If you ever get a tour of Truist Park, check that out up in the press level. All right, a couple of more for you here. It was on this date in 1996. Due to a conflict with the Republican National Convention in San Diego, the first Major League game ever played outside of the United States or Canada would occur in Monterrey, Mexico, with the home team Padres outslugging the visiting Mets 15-10 at Estadio de Baseball. Fernando Valenzuela, a native of the Mexican city of Navajoa, opens the three-game series and goes 6 innings to get the victory for the first-place Padres. On this date, 1996, first ever game played outside the U.S. or Canada in Monterrey, Mexico. And the fans treated to just an offensive barrage there, 15-10 Padres take down the Mets on this day. All right, a couple of more for you here. It was on this date in 2001. The Red Sox fired Jimmy Williams after he led the team to a 13 games above 500 record despite numerous injuries to key players. They were they turned things over to Joe Kerrigan, who replaced Jimmy Williams and finished the season with a 17-26 record for the second-place Red Sox. On this date, they part ways with Jimmy Williams. Of course, Jimmy Williams with some ties here to the Braves as well. All right, somebody asked me the other night on a rain delay show, will we ever see another pitcher win 20 games? And it's just coincidental. On this date in 2002, Curt Schilling won his 20th game of the season. He punched out 12 Cubs batters in a 2-1 victory at Wrigley Field. The 35-year-old right-hander would finish the season 23-5 and reach the milestone for the second consecutive year, a feat that teammate Randy Johnson would also accomplish the very next month in September of 2002. I said it the other night, and I do think we will see another 20-game winner. I don't know who or when, but I just think at some point, somewhere down the road, we will see somebody, somewhere, have 20 wins or more in Major League Baseball. All right, this one's the last one for you. It was on this date in 2009. Derek Jeter goes 3 for 4 in a Yankees 10-3 loss in Seattle, but he passes Luis Aparicio for the most hits ever compiled by a Major League shortstop. Now, the New York shortstop collected his 2,673rd and 2,674th hits in his first 2 at-bats to surpass the Hall of Famer's total, who spent his 18-year career ending in 1973 with the White Sox, Orioles, and the Red Sox. So there you go. On this date in 2009, Derek Jeter became the all-time hit leader as far as shortstops are concerned in Major League history, and we all know that went on a little bit longer after that date. All right, that's going to do it for us here today. As always, we appreciate you downloading and liking and subscribing to all of our coverage, as always, and we thank you for doing that. So we'll look forward to talking to you again here tonight for the Ford Leadoff Show. It comes your way 5:55 p.m. Eastern. First pitch, Braves and Marlins. Touki Toussaint on the mound for the Braves, 7:10 Eastern, right here on The Fan and the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Let me be straight with you. This is a radio commercial for 3 small business insurance. The policy has no fine print. It's clear what's covered. So while you can't see the following scene, just know that this pet store is protected by 3.
Joe, did you leave the snake tank open?
Look, I don't want to point fingers, but yes.
It's biting me! Sorry, sir. I'm calling my lawyer.
They're going to need some help with this mess. Luckily, they have 3 no fine print, just exceptional coverage. 3 is a product of Berkshire Hathaway Direct Insurance Company. 3, no nonsense, just common sense.